Here with Winning Edge, I want to talk to you about an event that happened a couple nights ago in the Bills at Chiefs game where Patrick Mahomes had a pretty substantial emotional meltdown on a potentially game-winning play call that the referees made that ended up deciding the fate of this game. I'm going to take a completely different approach on this than I've been hearing on social media and YouTube and all the prognosticators talking about Patrick's, emotional meltdown, calling him a whiner, just how he didn't handle the situation very well, which I don't necessarily disagree with. Football's an emotional sport. Totally understand that. But when you're a quarterback, when you're a leader of a team, you need to have control over your emotions and not let them get the best of you and affect your performance and also the performance of your teammates. Because in my opinion, what happened here was after this bad play call, and we'll go through it, Mahomes was so focused on the referee's call. The game wasn't over yet. They still had 2 or 3 plays left. Man, did they get taken out of their game mentally? Certainly he did, but I think his response also impacts his teammates and gets them taken out of the moment as well. Because, Patrick Mahomes is a champion. He's a pro. But does that mean that he can't get better? Does that mean that he can't reflect, analyze the situation? He's already apologizing for some things from that night. So certainly he regrets his behavior on some level. But on so many levels, not only is he an example for kids who are watching him. I have a quarterback coaching academy. A lot of kids that I coach, a lot of quarterbacks that I coach, when I ask them, who's your favorite team? They say the Chiefs. Why? Patrick Mahomes. So whether he likes it or not, he's a leader of young kids. He's an example. He's a role model. And so I hate to see this kind of behavior because kids see that. And I certainly think that's something hope that's something that he learns from and takes a little more seriously moving forward. But I wanted to really focus on when champions experience adversity, when they experience things outside of their control, the best way to respond, okay, first of all, understand this. When emotion is high, clarity is low. When emotion is high, clarity is low. You're not thinking clearly when emotion is high. So the best thing to do is not respond, okay? Not respond, because anything you say or do in that moment, you're going to probably end up regretting, which he did. I like the old adage I tell kids, press pause. When something happens to you, press the pause button. Don't respond. Let emotions subside. Check your mindset. Ask yourself, what kind of state of mind I am right now? Should I, no, don't respond to the situation until you're in a clear state of mind and you've had a chance to think about what happened and how you want to respond. This is a skill called E plus R equals O, event plus response equals outcome, that I teach extensively to athletes in my mental performance coaching. So the first thing is not to respond, but also when you respond emotionally like that, your teammates are watching you. They're out of their minds. Okay, they're not in the present moment. Use the acronym WIN, W-I-N, which stands for what's important now. Well, what's important now is to think tactically. He spends all this time, as we'll see, yelling at the refs rather than thinking tactically about what they can be doing on the next play to win this game. So let's just go through it. Here's the play call. Game-winning go-ahead touchdown here with 1:25 left. It's 2nd and 10 from midfield, and you can see that one of his receivers lines up in the neutral zone. Okay? Clear as day. Clear as day. Easy call. Okay? Look at this play. Unbelievable. Look at Kelsey. Unbelievable play. Touchdown. Probably win the game right there. But it gets called back. Okay? Because of that. In the neutral zone. That's going to get called. They even have a NFL rules referee come on right here, as you'll see in just a second. They're asking him about it. And basically, his comment was, yeah, easy call. Got to call that every time. Right there. Gene They referenced that NFL official, and he said, yeah. So what happens is, okay, they call timeout. It's 4th and 15 now. They had another couple plays. Now it's 4th and 15. They still got a play left. Game's not over. Minute left. Look at him. He's jawing at the referee instead of thinking tactically. Instead of thinking about what do they want to call? What do they want to do on this next play? Okay, so now not only is he not in the present moment, he's not in the present moment. His teammates are not in the present moment. How are they going to go out and execute on a 4th and 15, a very difficult situation, when their minds are not present? They're not thinking tactically. Okay, so he goes out. He gets lined up for the next play. Now Buffalo calls timeout. Okay, here's another timeout. Buffalo calls it this time. All right. And they come back, they execute the play, and he misses the throw. Now, if he would have completed that pass, yes, he did get rushed a little bit, but right there, that's who he's throwing to right there. Kelsey's open. He just misses him, throws it high over his head. I mean, is it because of his is it because of his state of mind? Is it because of his lack of focus? Is it because he's out of his mental element? Maybe. Don't know for sure. But what we do know for sure is he wasn't 100% focused on what's important now in the present moment during this whole escapade. Now he comes off the sideline, all fired up. Okay. Pretty much game's over. Buffalo's going to just take a knee now, run the clock out. And, here he is again on the sidelines, going after the referee. Players have to hold him back. That is not leadership, guys. That's not leadership from your quarterback. They already know you're competitive. They already know you're fiery. Listen, plenty of calls have gone the Chiefs' way, even in Super Bowls, controversial calls. Now one, that, all right, maybe a little bit controversial of a call, but it goes against them. Hey, man, I say this. Play well enough so that the referees cannot impact the game. Beat the opponent well enough that the referees aren't in a position to make a call to sway the game one way or the other. Here's just still chirping. And what, to me, what's most disappointing is at the end of the game when he goes out onto the field to shake hands with the Bills quarterback, Josh Allen, and this is what happens. Okay. He was caught on microphone complaining to Josh about the call. He's complaining about the call right now. He's not saying, hey, man, great game. You're a warrior. Good luck next week. Safe travels. None of that stuff, which is typically the speak that, the way they talk to each other. No, he's complaining about the call to Josh Allen, man. That's that. And he has apologized for that. But that is very poor sportsmanship. It's very victimish mentality. Again, I don't mean to, trash on Patrick Mahomes. Certainly, he's a very high level quarterback. He is a very fiery and competitive guy. A lot of those things can work in your favor. But I just wanted to point out that the way I look at this, everyone else is talking about how he's whining and crying. I want to talk about how he got taken out of his mind mentally, how he lost his focus, how he wasn't in the present moment. He's not thinking tactically. And that's what great champions do in vital moments of games, is they're thinking tactically rather than being a victim. So something to learn from, right? Something to learn from. Hopefully Patrick Mahomes has learned from this as well. I'm sure he has, but not good. Not good on many, many levels. On a personal performance level, on a peak performance level, on a lack of emotional control, on not representing the sport well, being a bad example to kids, poor leadership, and certainly poor sportsmanship, the way he expressed his anger towards the referees and to Josh Allen after the game. So that's my take on it. And this is what I do. I coach athletes, not just quarterbacks. I coach athletes on mental performance skills. These are things that aren't coached well, if at all, that need to be. I say this: coaches in sports coach skill. They coach training, strength, speed, agility. They teach knowledge of the game, strategy, but they don't teach strategies of the mind, right? They don't teach strategies of the mind. So that's what I do. work with athletes, help them create strategies for their mind so that they can win the mental game, which is a huge part of being a champion. If you're a quarterback, head over to winningedgeskills.com. If you're an athlete, head over to 3dcompetitor.com. Check out some of my courses, pick up a copy of my book, or enroll in one of my courses on these peak mental performance strategies that can radically change and alter your experience in sports for the better.